Good to have you with us. Now, let's look at some motions that were considered this week in the National Assembly.
The National Assembly considered a lot of motions this week on different issues. One of those considered was on a violent attack that led to loss of lives in Plateau State.
The House is alarmed that 22 persons were killed and several others sustained injuries of varying degrees following attacks by gunmen on Golhos village of Riom local government area and Kwata village of Jos South local government area. Both attacks were carried out simultaneously on Sunday night of 14th December 2015. Worried that communities in Barikin Ladi and Riom local governments have suffered series of attacks resulting in the displacement of over 25,000 persons who are destitute following the destruction, burning and sacking of over 40 villages which constitutes their homes and natural habitat.
The House has condemned the attack and mandated its Committee on National Security to investigate the matter. The House also approved a motion for the need for the reconstruction of the Makurdi-Naka-Adoka-Ankpa Road. This followed a motion on the matter presented by Representative Mark Bila and considered by the House.
The House is aware that the Makurdi-Naka-Adoka-Ankpa Road is a major link between the northern and southern parts of Nigeria and traverses 4 federal constituencies in Benue and Kogi states, and is also a major arterial route in the national network of roads as it services one of the largest industrial layouts in Nigeria. The House is concerned that the current state of the road has caused the existing industrial layout to become moribund.
In the Senate, after a debate on the motion, the President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, said the trial of former National Security Advisor Sambo Tasuki over alleged mismanagement of billions of naira meant for arms procurement is a partial indictment on the National Assembly. Senator Saraki said the Senate has not properly performed its oversight functions on government ministries, departments and agencies. He said the inability of the Senate committees to effectively oversight government MDAs has ensured that gross mismanagement of revenue and incompetence in MDAs have been left unchecked for too long.
Distinguished colleagues, I want us in this 8th Senate to ensure that our committees carry out proper oversight. And we, as leadership, are going to ensure that we too find a way of making sure that committees do their work of oversight. Because truly, that is the bottom line to this. Even the current investigation going on in the National Security Advisor's Office, also whether we like it or not, in a way to, again, the oversight function of the National Assembly brought to question. We must play a role in the area of oversight. Because if we don't play it, at the end of the day, this is what we get.
Meanwhile, 2 bills seeking to provide a framework for the smooth and orderly transfer of power from one government to the other have scaled second reading in the House of Representatives. The sponsors of the bill said the bill, if passed into law, will help to forestall disagreements such as those that follow the transition from the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan to the present administration.
The present administration, led by President Buhari, had said he had to settle down to look through those notes because they came in late, which was another reason why he had held back in his cabinet composition. So I saw the need for a law in place that will provide for a framework for transition. So the components basically is time frame for outgoing government to be able to put handover notes together and hand over to incoming government. Now the composition of this transition team will be nominees from the incoming and obviously the outgoing.
The bill proposes a time frame for committees to be set up and when the committee is expected to complete its work.
Well, what do you make of the position of the Senate President on the alleged mismanagement of billions of naira meant for arms procurement and the oversight functions on government ministries, departments and agencies as conducted by the National Assembly? Well, let's have your thoughts on that point. Reach out to us through any of our platforms on the screen. Now, the management team of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission were in the National Assembly this week. It was a chance for lawmakers to interact with the commission. Members of the House of Representatives Committee on Financial Crimes meeting with the management of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The chairman said the committee is looking to help the commission realize this administration's fight against corruption.
It is therefore extremely saddening for us to discover, like most Nigerians, the sheer magnitude of outright stealing allegedly perpetrated by those entrusted with securing lives and property of poor and powerless Nigerians under the guise of fighting Boko Haram. While millions of the ordinary Nigerian victims of terrorism were left to their fate, a few elite, most of whom were not even victims of Boko Haram, unashamedly dipped their hands into the vault to steal billions of dollars from our resources to satisfy their perverse cravings.
The acting chairman of the anti-graft agency said the commission has achieved a lot as regards convictions.
We had 146 convictions in EFCC alone. And this year alone, we had over 98 convictions, and we are still counting. Mr. Chairman and honorable members, this 146, you can put all the convictions in the police force. The police force, they have station, they have representation in all the local government and the state. You can also put the convictions in the Ministry of Justice. You put all of them together, it's not up to 146. Yes. Even ICPC, etc., you put all their convictions together, it does not hit 146.
The anti-graft boss also spoke on the ongoing prosecution of suspects in the arms scandal.
We have realized that having number of charges, 100 charges on a person, tend to give them a leeway in escaping, because it becomes very difficult for you to prove your case beyond reasonable doubt. But we have noted this. We have reduced the charges. If you have seen these people who are involved in procurements, arms deal, fraud, we have reasonably reduced the charges. And even after the prosecution, we don't stop investigation, because we have to take away the profit. We have to take away, if you just prosecute somebody, put him in jail, and the money is waiting for him outside. So we are going to make sure that we collect the profit of the crimes. So that does it. So if you jail somebody, you don't take away the profit, which means the benefit is still there. So we put you in jail first, then we continue the investigation. We will trace all the asset and the account and block everything, so that you don't come out and fight back.
Meanwhile, the chairman of the Code of Conduct Tribunal, Justice Danladi Umar, appeared before the House Committee on Public Petitions, which was looking into the 44.5 million naira fraud allegation by a non-governmental organization, Anti-Corruption Network. The Attorney General of the Federation explained why the CCT chairman has not been prosecuted for alleged fraudulent practices.
It became very difficult for any prosecution to be initiated on the basis of the facts as they were presented. So the position of the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation is that in the absence of further material facts that could sustain the allegation, we find it very difficult to prosecute Danladi Umar in the circumstances, against the background of his own presentation, against the further conclusion arrived at by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. cases are prosecuted on the basis is that what obtains is a mere suspicion and no prima facie case has been established against Ladi Umar.
We equally have responded by our submission dated the 27th of November 2015, where we denied every single item that was referred to in the petition of the petitioner, by the petitioner.
The committee has asked the AGF to provide further documents to prove that the EFCC conducted a thorough investigation into the allegations. The committee has adjourned the case to another date.